So I just wanted to do this quick video. First part's going to be about filters and the pros and cons, and the second part's going to be about plants. So in terms of filters, there's a few different kind of filters. There's an internal ones which kind of like this. So the pros is they can have some pretty good surface agitation. That's pretty much the only good pro. And the cons is they're usually pretty small and they can't have really that much. They can't really have that much like filter media, so it's pretty much good if you just want to add more surface agitation and not really any filter media. And then there's another type, which is just slightly larger, is this hang over the back filter. So the pros of this, I'd say, is you can fit in slightly more filter media, slightly more filter media than the other one. Cons, I don't know what other filter. So pros is a bit bigger, and it's not in the tank. That's obviously a good point. Cons is they're obviously going to cost more. They do have to hang on the back, so that's not always an option. And you can't really fit very large filter media in it, and sometimes like the layout of the media is like annoying, and also they can sometimes be really noisy. So I'd say they're better if you want to add, they're better as a main filter for a smaller tank, like this tank here. And then this filter is good just to add a bit of additional oxygen. I don't know if I've even got any media in this, just because I might not even have much media in there, just because it's mainly for the oxygen I was using that for. And then I don't actually have any of these in these tanks, but there's sponge filters. So in terms of the pros for this one, so this is really good at sucking stuff away from like sitting on the bottom. And I think this one also is pretty good at that, but sponge filters are kind of like the opposite. They don't really do that. They don't really suction stuff. They kind of just sit there, and they're obviously in the tank as well. So they're going to be taking up space. They're obviously a cheaper option. There's actually more fish in there than that, just that fish. But they hide. They do tend to hide. Let's see if I can see any. Oh, I think I can see one. They do kind of sneak around, these fish. Anyways. Oh, there's one right there. And then the last one we're going to look at, so this one has, in terms of the filters, this one has another hang over the back filter. So this has got some filter media in it as well. This one's also pretty good for some filter media, but I'd say this is probably not exactly enough for this size tank, which is why I'm going to be doing some work, because there's another type of filter which is like even larger, which I've been working on over here. And then they have these big canister filters, which mine actually stopped working, so that's obviously a con. But the pros is, so this is a huge, this is about 8 litres. Fits a lot of filter media in it, and it's all my filter media here. It's being washed. Go turn the light on. So I've been scrubbing away at it. That's some very good filter media. You can fit some, oh, it's really hot. You can fit some very good filter media in there. So it's about 8 litres. And then they go in these baskets. with some sponges. So that's Marine Pure. That's a very good filter media. And then with these black sponges, the good things about these black sponges is they don't degrade like other sponges do. So for the pros, it's quite powerful. It does provide a lot of filtration. So it's good for a bigger tank. I wouldn't say it's necessary even for, like, this is a 130 litre tank. I don't think it's 100% necessary for a tank this size. For a larger one, maybe. Anyways, so it's large. It's got good capacity. They're pretty strong. So that one was a Nautilus 800, pretty strong. This one's actually, this filter here, that's got a UV in it. The Nautilus doesn't have a UV in it. So it's strong. The cons, obviously, is they've got big tubes that hang down. So my tubes are actually outside at the moment. But they've got big tubes that hang down, and when it's full, it's quite heavy. So I'm obviously kind of small, so it's kind of like heavy for me to carry. Yeah, pretty much. And like, if they can also, they're also hard to prime. Like, they don't exactly prime on their own, and they can also leak, and that can kind of like flood the house and be like a complete disaster. So I'm trying to like stay away from that. I was gonna just try to put the Marine Pure in baskets, see how it goes just in the tank. That way I don't have to actually set it up in the tank again. But I was going to put something like this, except with a spray bar. So that's just a pump, that's just a circulation pump. I was gonna have one of these, except with a, actually I might actually use that one, except use a spray bar on it. And then we can have some extra flow. I don't think that one's that strong though. I feel like this is like, I don't know, 600 litres an hour, maybe? Not sure. But yeah, and then I was going to put it underneath, I was going to put the baskets with the media, some of the media in it under the plants. Just so that the media's there. But I didn't want to have to set up the thing on the outside just because of like the extra annoyance, because it's actually kind of annoying to set up. And then there's obviously the last type of filter, which I'm not going to go that much into detail of because I don't actually have one to look at. But it's a sump filter. And they're pretty much got similar kind of pros and cons as to the canister filter, kind of. Except they can take a lot more media, I think. So I think it just kind of depends like what kind of filter like you're after, really. And so in terms of this tank, this is the one I'm working on at the moment. I got some new wood. I got this plant's already had. I just stole it from the other tank. I stole it from the other tank. I got that piece of wood new. Got that plant new. It was $80. Kind of expensive, that plant. So yeah. So it's gonna elevate those up a bit. And I got rocks which need to be cleaned, like stones. So I think that's it for this video. So I've obviously found out what the cons are for that type of filter, and I was just kind of over dealing with like it not working suddenly, and like having to like, also because like if you don't open it up and clean it, like that kind of defeats the purpose of like having a good filter. It's like it needs to be cleaned like regularly, or like, yeah, I figured if it was already in the tank it wouldn't like get so dirty and stuff. So we'll just see how that goes. It's kind of like my own experiment.